Staff restroom. Here's the plan of my floor, and at the top you'll see marked the staff restroom, which on this plan, which is the little plan by the lift door, the staff restroom looks very small. When you sort of look at that, you think you're just about to get one bed in there. That'd be about all there is room for it. Here's a close-up of that, and it doesn't look very big if you look at the size of the door compared with the room. It looks quite small.
Well, I'm in my corridor here, and I'm using it quite nicely in this holiday period when there were no managers around. And we're going to go through this door. Let's go in. Well, there's the garden down there. Looks pretty dull in the winter. Well, there are 3 windows here. One there looking over the garden. This is a corner room, so there's another one there. And just by the sink area, a tiny one there. So there's plenty of light coming into here. This room is hardly ever used. I'd say never used. So there's the door as you come in. And moving round, we have some light switches, nice chair, and a Z bed there, folded up, and another small single bed there, next to the window. Well, my mother, when I was a child, my mother used to call these things Z beds, because you can fold it up. Maybe it's a U bed, not a Z bed. And then we have a nice small table here with 2 chairs, and the place is carpeted, unlike some of the other little rooms around this house. So with the beds, you would think this would be a sort of medical room, but there are no first aid kits or anything. But if it's a staff restroom, and if some carers had to sleep over for some reason, because that does happen for some residents in some elderly people, then, but normally you'd sleep over in the same flat as the person, so if they suddenly get ill, you can be suddenly woken up. So the room is much bigger than I imagined before I came in here. I saw it about a year ago when some contractor was looking at some leak in the roof, and they wanted to look through the window and see where the leak was. But now, over this Christmas period, it's been left unlocked. So nice, you can have your lunch there with your friend on a tiny little table. It's very nice. And in the corner here, next to the table, nice little table for 2, we have a little stool. We have a spin dryer, just in case you wanted a spin dryer, and a very nice sink unit. In fact, this sink unit is much better than the one in the guest room, and has similar wonderful art on the shelf, just like in the guest room. Nondescript pictures. So let's have a closer look in this corner. Well, there's a nice mono radio cassette player. You can't get these anymore in the high street. And some fire notice tell you what to do if there's a fire. This is very high tech here. But the sink unit, not sure what that is much better than the guest room because you've got integrated hob units on the actual sink itself, and also an integrated fridge. So there are your under sink cupboards, look like normal cupboards. But there are the controls for the hob. You've got a master switch is there on the wall, and your two buttons to turn the hob on. And there we have, in the right hand side, a nice under sink storage cupboard. But on this side, an integrated fridge that's integrated into the whole unit. Very nice. Not on, and nothing in it. A good idea, yes. This is better than the guest room. It all seems to work. I could try it in a minute, I suppose. Wonderful stuff. Well, I've now got both of the hobs on, and they're very old because they're sort of very slow ones, unlike my nice ceramic hobs. And when you cook these are like ones that take ages to heat up. Well, they're on, and I can smell the sort of faint, musty smell of electric hobs. I should imagine they've never been used. And since 1993, when this building was put up, I would imagine there's not a kettle here. Someone needs to put a kettle in. But I should imagine those hobs have never been used for any real cooking. Lastly, there's a nice cupboards there next to the kitchen unit as you come into the door, and of course that wall backs onto my kitchen area. That's the part of my kitchen with the work surface is just to the side of that wall. Well, there's nothing in the cupboards. Some nice pipes, empty shelves. You know, if this room was unlocked, I could store a whole lot of stuff in there, some kind of unit there. I could use it to store things. Got my own, I'm not sure, is that a heater? Trying to focus that. And yeah, that appears to be a separate water heater for the hot water in this room only, because there's a switch on the wall saying water heater, and there's an electric wire there, so it's kind of instant immersion heater, presumably because piping the hot water from the communal system up here might not be very efficient. I doubt if that's ever been used. And here's another second storage unit, which is empty and unused. So I wonder how you would estimate the size of this room and compare it to one of Vanda's rooms. I'm not getting a tape measure out, since this is open for any refugees who need a spare room to come in and stay instantly. There's no kettle, no washing machine, but there's a spin dryer and a cassette radio. And so we're out into my corridor again. No doubt this door will be locked and someone bothers to come up here again.